Hi YouTube, how are you doing? And welcome back to Phasmophobia. Today we are back with another weekly challenge, and this one is one of the hardest that the developers can give us. It is the no sanity, no evidence challenge. Survival of the fittest. You've got no pills, no sanity, and no evidence to work with. It's gonna be a tough one, and it's gonna be on Edgefield, which is honestly one of the worst maps because it doesn't have many good looping spots. It only has one, and it's awful. So we're gonna see if we can survive. It's gonna be fun. I hope you enjoy. If you're not subscribed, please do so. If you like the video, like it. If you dislike it, dislike it. But let's not waste any more time. Well, let's hop into the game. Let's go. We have Steven Skinner, Cleanse, Firelight, and Ghost Photo. We can do all of that. We have no evidence, of course. They didn't even give us any of them, except Spirit Box? Why? Wait, what? Is that a mistake? Why Spirit Box? You can't do anything with Spirit Box. You can do something with the EMF, and you could do something with the camera. That's gonna mean that Mimic will be much harder here. I'm not even gonna bother with this though, because I'm just gonna hope that we get a ghost that we can figure out during a hunt. That would make our life very easy. This could either be a very easy challenge or a very difficult challenge. Will the breaker be on? The breaker is on. Excuse me? I want this to be true. I want this to be true so bad. I want this to be true so bad. I'm just gonna leave. That'd be so funny. No way. No! Alright, that was worth the meme, dude. That's just a coincidence that we could have figured that out during the hunt, but I just imagine that was a mare. So, if you don't know, the mare has an ability where it can immediately turn off a light switch after you turn it on, which is what happened there, but obviously other ghosts can do the same thing, which is why it wasn't actually a mare, but oh man, that would have been sick. Alright, anyway, this will be the real hunt. Lori Brooks, we have Repel, Paramic, and Firelight. That's all fine. Okay, so the way you're gonna do this is you're gonna grab smudge sticks. Don't be silly and try and find the ghost room, because the ghost will find you, because we're on 0 sanity, which means hunts will happen pretty much instantly, depending on the ghost. Some ghosts will not necessarily depending on the ghost type, but some ghosts will just be a bit more shy than other ghosts. So sometimes you'll be waiting for 30 seconds, sometimes you'll be waiting for 1 second. This time we're waiting for quite a bit. I don't know if we have a curse position. Oh, there we go. Sounds kind of quiet, but relatively normal speed. I'm gonna sit here to do a Jin test. Or a Yokai test, sorry. Okay, it immediately found me. It's blinking extremely infrequently, which means it is a phantom. I'm gonna smudge here and get the fuck out of this guy. Oh god. Roll. Okay, you see how you can barely, well, you can barely see that ghost. Now it could be a mimic, but what are the chances of this being a mimic? There's no chance, right? So we're just gonna leave. There's so many ability or ghosts that you can figure out during the hunt based on their ability. After we load out here and we load back in, I'll go over all of them. Because you're gonna need that information during this right here. I love how Phasmo, if you truly know everything about every ghost, it's like so satisfying to get those ghosts correct, because it's like every time you get to use all of that knowledge you've gathered over so much time. So that was our actual first round, getting it correct. Now you can't do this for every ghost. There is a lot of them for which it works, though. Let me go over all of them. So, quick, I have a whole ghost guide where I go into super depth on every single one of the ghosts here. I'm just going to quickly list the things you can do during a hunt. Wraith, you can place down salt. If it doesn't step in the salt, it's not going to be a wraith. Spirit, if you smudge the ghost and it doesn't hunt for 3 minutes, it's a spirit, usually. If it hunts after 90 seconds, it can't be a spirit. Phantom, if it doesn't blink very often, it's a phantom. Poltergeist, if you throw down a bunch of items and it'll throw them really fast, it'll be a poltergeist. Banshee, if you have 2 players, it will only focus one of the 2 players. And the other one will be totally invincible to the ghost. You can't test that solo, so that's one ghost that I can't figure out. Jinn, if you're far away from the Jinn and the breaker is on, it will be really fast until it gets close to you, at which point it will slow down a little bit. That's how you can test Jinn. Mare will hunt starting at 60% sanity, which we can't really do that here because I'm assuming we don't have sanity pills. I think these are just for making us faster. I assume that won't actually give us any sanity. Yep, they won't give us anything, so we can't do that here unless you get that light switch, but that's not during a hunt. Revenant will be either really slow if it's not chasing you or really fast when it is chasing you, and you can hear that based on the footsteps. Shade will not be able to hunt if it's in the same room with you. During the hunt, it does nothing, though. Demon will hunt really often, and Crucifixes will be big range, but during the hunt, it does nothing. Yurei doesn't have anything during the hunt. Oni will be blinking the opposite of Phantom extremely frequently, so you'll be able to see it basically all the time during a hunt. Yokai will not detect your equipment from far away. So if you're in that corner in the living room, for example, and it doesn't walk in the living room, then it's probably a yokai. Hantu will be only based, the speed will be only based on the temperature. So if it's really cold, it will be fast. If it's warm, it will be slow. And if the breaker is off, it will give you the freezing breath coming out of the mouth. Goryo has nothing. Myling, I mean, nothing. When I say nothing, I mean during a hunt. There's stuff outside of a hunt, but it doesn't really matter right now. Myling, you cannot hear the footsteps unless you're close to it, which is kind of hard on a map like this. Onryo has nothing, except early hunting, but nothing for this challenge. Twins will either be fast or slow, slightly faster or slightly slower, not that noticeable. Raichu will be really fast if it's close to equipment. Obake will be randomly swapping to a different ghost type on every blink. There's like a 6.66666% chance that it turns into a different ghost model. Mimic can be any of the other ghosts during a hunt. Moroi will be really fast or slower based on sanity. If you're at 0 sanity, it will be really fucking fast. Dio, you cannot hide from a Dio. It will be really fast until it gets close to you, at which point it will walk really slow. A Thay will be really fast at the start and then get slower over time. So that's a really quick 5-minute rundown through all the things you can do during a hunt. Now, there's obviously lots more abilities outside of a hunt, but for this specific challenge, we're mostly interested in the things during a hunt. I thought I'd do that. You could obviously skip that if you are already a Phasmo pro, but a lot of people are still asking me for that stuff and still asking me for new guides all the time. I hear... Fuck, was that a grandmother for a second? I thought I saw Obake, but I don't think so. Never mind, otherwise I would have changed it at this point. Now it is speeding up. Doesn't really seem like something immediately. I'm gonna smudge here. I smudged at 50 seconds on the timer. Running away from this guy or lady. So we didn't see anything immediately. Besides that, I felt like it was pretty quiet. So we'll have to do a Myling test. Some maps, such as specifically this one, I think they actually picked by far the worst map for no evidence, because it's really, like, you're not supposed to practice no evidence on Edgefield. You're supposed to test your knowledge on Edgefield. Like, Edgefield is a challenge version of no evidence because of the way the map is structured. It's just absolutely horrible for no evidence stuff, such as not having a really good looping spot, not being able to really be far away from the ghost. Like, if you want to test for Myling, you can kind of sit over here maybe, and then if it goes down the stairs and you can't hear it, you can test for that. Like, that's the way I'm gonna do it here, I think. But it's one of the harder maps for no evidence. Now, it came from upstairs, I think. It's been 1 minute since we smudged, so if it's gonna hunt within the next 30 seconds, it's gonna be a demon. Demons can hunt after 60 seconds when you smudge them, whereas every other ghost will hunt after 90 seconds, unless it's a spirit, at which point it will hunt after 3 minutes. Door touch right here. Do we have all hiding spots? We do also have all hiding spots. It's definitely around here. We might have to do some stuff outside of hunts if we can't figure it out right here, which we should. Grab some salt real quick, but I want to get this. Oh, ghost of it. I'm gonna walk into that real quick. So, because now it can hunt unless it's a spirit. I'm also gonna stay in this room so that if it's a shade and it's gonna hunt in the same room, we can rule out a shade. So it's probably not a demon, but we're not 100% sure. It's not hunting right now. We are still big fat 0% sanity. I'm gonna rule out a few ghosts. Dio, Moroi, Thay, Raichu. These guys are all impossible. Twins, I didn't listen for long enough. These guys are impossible. Didn't do a polter check. Seems like it could be a spirit here. If it's not gonna hunt for the next 50 seconds, it's very likely to... Never mind, there you go. So it's not a spirit. I'm gonna sit here now for Myling. You can hear it clearly, but... don't think it's a myling, but it's hard because it's. Oh God! That was pretty close, but what you really have to keep in mind when you do tests like for myling and yokai is that this stuff only works if you're on the same floor with the ghost. If you're above a ghost, you'll be able to hear the footsteps very clearly, but that doesn't mean it's not gonna be a myling. All right, so we smudged it again there, but we already know it's not a spirit and probably not a demon, so we don't really have to worry about those unless it's a really shy demon. So let's set up for a few extra ghosts. We're gonna grab salt for Wraith. We should, I guess, grab crucifix for if it ends up being a demon, but I think we're mostly gonna use this for on Rio check. So I'm gonna place salt in like a wall here. If the ghost steps in the salt, it's not gonna be a wraith, so we can rule that one out. We need to set up for poltergeist. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's gonna be twins because it wasn't slow or fast there. I'm gonna set up my poltergeist check on the only looping spot you have on this map. You just grab a bunch of items, you throw them on this couch, and then if you loop the ghost around here and it makes like a item tornado basically, you know it's gonna be a poltergeist. Oh, it's already hunting? Oh, I don't have a smudge. That's kind of fucked, but it's fine. Wait, that felt relatively early? I don't think that was early enough for demon. Okay, step in the salt. So here I just have to run away immediately, because if you loop it without a smudge stick, it'll get too fast, so you can't outrun it anymore, and then you'll get killed. So I'm just here to, I need to do gin test as well. Gotta hold this. It's not a wraith because it stepped in that salt. So we actually get to do a lot of checks here, which is nice, because then I get to explain a lot of stuff, because I'm assuming this is one of those challenges where, I mean, a lot of people might skip this because it's too freaking hard. But I love this challenge. I do it all the time. No evidence, no sanity. We still need EMF. We could throw that in there real quick. I'm gonna grab a candle and a crucifix. We don't know exactly where the ghost room is, so maybe we should first find that. I'm just gonna throw that here. Quickly grab. We don't have a thermo. Never mind. The fun part about having the custom difficulty now is that you can have the evidence items to use them to find the ghost without actually giving away the evidence. So it's a bit of a shame we don't have any of those here, but it's fine. We can find the ghost by just walking around, I guess. Gotta be careful though. Need to grab a quick smudge here just to have one in case I get into a bad spot, which is very possible. I think it came from... Let's put this here. So what are we doing right with this candle and this crucifix? We're testing for an on Rio. Yep. What? The fuck? Am I dead here? What the fuck? That was a ghost event? It blew out the... What the fuck is going on? Shit's crazy. Okay, lady. Did you use that crucifix? Can you give us a sign? Can you show yourself? Can you do something? It's touching a door right there. So if it uses for an Unreal, the crucifix or the candle counts as a crucifix, basically, if it's turned on. So if you get the ghost to use the crucifix underneath a candle like this, you know it's not an Unreal, because the Unreal would have first blown out the candle before using that crucifix. Now, we also know that's not a shade because they did that in the same room as us, most likely. What you do have to keep in mind with that is that if you have the tier 3 crucifix, the range of the tier 3 is larger than the candle. So you can have a tier 3, get it to use the crucifix, and then still it being an Unreal, which is very annoying. I don't think it's a myling either. We need to test for the poltergeist. Now that we got a smudge. Oh, it already hunted? Are you fucking kidding me? Okay. Wait, maybe it is a poltergeist. I kind of made a mess here. In like really no time at all. Nah. I mean, it's throwing some items, but it needs to be throwing them like crazy. So there's not a poltergeist either. We need to save our last smudge stick for the gin test. Okay, that's fucking scary. We're getting there, though. This might be a Yurei or Goryo, at which point you're kind of just screwed. So it's not a poltergeist. We did not Obake. So we need to what are the ones you cannot really test for Banshee, Mare, Yurei, Goryo during this. So if it's one of those, you're shit out of luck, which might be very much the case here. You can still try, but it's very hard. So we're just gonna give it our best shot here. I smudged it, so I just want to take this time to find the ghost if possible. Can you give us a sign? Are you in here? I want to walk around, see if maybe there's cold breath anywhere. I'm not seeing any cold breath. I blew out that candle, because candles can't go out by themselves anymore. The problem is that we can't find out what the ghost room is very effectively because we don't have a thermometer, which makes this very hard to test for Goryo. Okay, the time is almost over, so we know it's not a spirit, so we have to run. How am I gonna test for, it's touching stuff up there. I'm gonna test for Jinn by standing back here. And then if it comes down the stairs and then immediately gets super fast when it goes around that corner, that is in the range where the Jinn will be really fast. Once it gets around here, it will get slower. So hopefully it'll be a Jinn, otherwise I'm in trouble here. Start walking like normal. It's not a Jinn, that's very unfortunate for me. Because that means we might be dealing with one of the annoying options, and then we'd have to, we have a paramic though, right? So we can test for Banshee still, but not during a hunt, obviously. I think we have a paramic, otherwise we're really screwed. But even if you get a bunch of whispers, you can't rule out Banshee anyway, because there's always a chance that it's just being rude. Okay, so we grab a paramic if we have it. We do, that's good. We did all objectives. We know it's not a Jinn. We know it's probably not a yokai. Mimic seems unlikely, but it is still possible. I'm gonna keep some light on, and we're gonna test for yokai. That candle went out by itself. I'm gonna pick this up and throw it up there. You have to be on the same floor, I think, unless this is a tier 3, right? No, it's a tier 2. Fuck. If you have a tier 3, you can be on a different floor, but with a tier 2, you have to be on the same floor to get the paramic response. Did it just throw this right here? Yes. So it seems to airball. That also means it's not an Oni, but that doesn't really matter for us here. Okay. It's touching lots of stuff. So what we're doing here is we're waiting for a whisper sound effect. If it's a Banshee, it has a 30% chance that whisper turns into a scream, a loud scream. Which is how you can figure out a Banshee. And I think this might be a Banshee because it's been stalking us quite heavily. There should be a really long grace period so we can run away. Okay, it's coming from that room. I'm gonna test for yokai here, or try. I think we've already done this, but... Okay, it's not a yokai probably. I have to run. That's very risky. Don't recommend that, but I have to test for measures. Okay, so unless I'm really unlucky, this shouldn't be a yokai because I did that exact same test twice, which is sitting in that corner there. If the ghost walks down the stairs and then walks past the living room, that means it's a yokai. It threw stuff again, so it came out of this room here. We had a whisper there for just a split second. So that's one whisper. Come on, give us the scream. I should just throw this in there as well. We could test. What would speed this up slightly is if we go over here and we grab a motion sensor. I hope we have those. We do. Then we're gonna sit in a corner in a hiding spot. If it's... That's fucking crazy. If it is a Banshee, it will probably roam to us. So we can sit like right here at the motion sensor. If this motion sensor suddenly goes off because the Okay. I mean, come on, man. That's gotta be a Banshee, right? That's just perfect timing as well. So, the Banshee has an ability to roam towards the target. And that's a perfect example of it. Now, we didn't get the scream, so it could just be that randomly this Goryo decided to roam to us. But I'm just gonna call it as Banshee, because we could be here for a long time before we hear the scream, because it's relatively rare. And that would also explain the other behavior. It was indeed a Banshee. Okay, so that was... We didn't figure that one out during the hunt. You could do that if you have another player. That makes it slightly easier. But still, we did it. We need one more, though. Okay, we could use the monkey paw for sanity, I guess. I didn't even know there was a monkey paw. The monkey paw is the best one if you have no sanity. Because you can actually get your sanity back, and you can do all of the wishes, even if you have no sanity then. Crucifix, EMF, microphone, or whatever. We're gonna get a Revenant this time, I'm calling it. Look at this. Hey, Ghost Guy, what's up? Welcome, Raiders. How you guys doing? We are on the last run for the weekly challenge here. I'm scared. That's such a long... Grandma! Such a long grace period. This looks like another non-immediately obvious ghost. It's not an Oni, it's not a Phantom, it's not an Obake. It's not a Poltergeist. Because it's not throwing that cup at all. I'm running and hiding, and we're gonna rule out some ghosts. So what do we know? We know it's not Obake, Moroi, Diothe, Raichu... Myling, we can't really tell. Yokai, that's our first strike for not being a yokai, but we're not exactly sure. Revenant, Hantu, Twins, Phantom, Oni. We need probably not a Poltergeist. We need to grab Salt. It came from that room right there, which is kind of better. If being on the ground floor so you can just sit in the hiding or in the looping spot is very useful. We're gonna grab this and the candle for potential Unrio check. Salt for the Wraith check. Is that right there? Don't drop your lighter, by the way. That's me being stupid. I think it was here. They just threw a ball down the stairs, which means it must have been in a room where there's a ball, which I think there's a ball in this room, right? Like over there? Isn't there original... I think this must be the ghost room then. I think. Does anyone know where that ball comes from? Because the ball... I'm pretty sure it's over there. What you have to keep in mind with stuff like that is that it doesn't mean that the ghost is here. If the ghost is in a room with a stuffed animal... Okay, did it blow out the candle? It did not blow out the candle. And it did that pretty fast, so definitely not a spirit. I'm gonna back off real quick and grab the paramic. Grab that. Okay, so we know it's not on Rio because it used the crucifix without blowing out the candle. I think it might not be a Myling either then, and we need to do another test for yokai here. We need to just test for Banshee if possible. If we can get that early scream here, that'd be great. Oh, except in the salt? Wait, Banshee? If it's actually another Banshee, yeah, no spirit. I almost forgot the full item. If it's gonna hunt from here. Are you fucking... Don't give me two Banshees, man. Oh god. It's in this room? Yep. You... Wait, what? Oh, it's a mimic! Oh god! It's a mimic because now it's a phantom. What the fuck? I'm dead. What the hell? Okay, wait. It has to be a mimic then, right? Okay, because the first one, it was not a phantom at all. Okay, that's terrifying. So, that also explains why it was roaming to me, because the phantom, similar to Wraith, Phantom, Banshee, have kind of similar behaviors where they have abilities that bring them to a player. Also, that's a big fat skull. Okay, so What you do with Mimic, if you don't have the video camera, which we don't here, usually you always, no matter what you do personally, you always have the video camera because you literally cannot remove it. You obviously can't choose not to use it, but the developers can give you a map or give you a setup where you can't have it at all. If you don't have a camera, you just get hunts until you see something contradictory to the hunts you've had before it. Which, unless I am super blind, that should have been a contradiction, which there you go. But if you have the camera, obviously just look for the orbs, because even if it's no evidence, you still get the orbs for Mimic, because they're not evidence, they're an ability instead. I get the ghost writing book, I get the photo camera, all that stuff. So yeah, that was hopefully very helpful if you are still trying to figure out how the ghosts work. And even if you already know how the ghosts work, hope that was still fun all the same. Let me know how that went for you. That's a very tough one. So I would love to know in the comments down below how that challenge went for you specifically. And if you had any easy ghosts, if you had hard ghosts, if you get a Goryo here, I don't know what to tell you. That's just very hard. If you have a Goryo or Yurei, you're gonna have it, like, it's basically a 50-50. You just have to guess. That is not your fault, though. If you can get to that point where you've ruled out basically every ghost and you're just down with a few ghosts, it's you're allowed to make a mistake. Then that's what I do all the time as well when I do these no evidence challenges, because it's just like at that point you just kind of have to guess. But anyway, hope you enjoyed that. If you're not subscribed, please do so. If you like the video, like it. If you dislike it, dislike it. And if you want to join, I love the gamers here in chat. You can join us over at twitch.tv/Instagram. Get the link in the description down below. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.